be your skimmer. The one that shallow type skimmer is just for simply skimming the surface, taking off any debris and stuff that may have came down. The deep leaf net here is strictly for bottom of the pool. What it'll do is it'll allow you to pick up half a bushel of leaves without having to come up and empty. So this is something probably you're only going to use if you leave your pool open too long. So that shouldn't be used too much. Front, very basic. They say get kids to use that. That's something they can hook up. That's something they can do and save you a lot of work. Pool does not have to be a lot of work. It's strictly a little bit at a time to keep your job easy. Three things that make a pool a lot of work are neglect, neglect, and neglect. It just takes a little bit of maintenance on a frequency. I would say every third day you should check things out. And on that third day, you should be checking the chlorine level in your pool. Quite basic, we've got your chlorinating tablets here that, as you know, go into your chlorinator, which you're going to keep full and keep the air bled out of at all times, and adjust your amount that you're going to put in with the valve on the side. Over here we have pH up and pH down, which on your test kit is quite self-explanatory. What this test kit's going to do is going to test the chlorine and the pH both, the two most important things on a swimming pool. Very simply done, you fill the tube up to the small lines on the bottle. 5 drops of red on the red side, 5 drops of yellow on the yellow side. You'll notice color charts on the side. Ideal is marked right out on the color chart. If your color of your pH, which is the red, was to read quite dark, like towards the top there, it would tell you to add acid and or lower your pH. If it's low, it's going to tell you to raise your pH. pH we suggest keeping right in the ideal range. To decrease and increase it, both of these are in a powder form. You can buy muriatic acid in a liquid form, but it's not worth the dangers of keeping it around. It's very corrosive. Anytime you're going to raise or lower your pH, you're going to look on your scale here and say we've got a 6.8 and we need to raise our pH. Go to your pH increaser because we need to raise it, and there's a chart on the back. This is going to vary from chemical company to chemical company, so this is something you've got to read the chart on the back to know how much to put in to raise and lower your pH. They're going to go by gallons on that chart. A 1632, figure 20,000 gallons. An 1836, figure 25,000 gallons. And on a 20 by 40, figure 30,000 gallons. Anything in between that, odd shapes and sizes, give us a ring and we'll give you some gallonages on those. But as I say, it's a very simple chart to read, and you've just got to figure your gallons, how much to put in per 10,000 out of each container. So that should cover us on the pH. On your chlorine, it's got an ideal range on there. We don't suggest keeping it in that ideal range. It is not necessary with a diatomaceous earth filter and or on a residential pool. We're not experiencing 50 swimmers a day coming through the swimming pool. It's more of a family type deal. And you don't want that offensive chlorine smell when it'll stay crystal clear. Keeping it at the low end of the ideal range is where we recommend. Now, if it's too high, basically you'll go turn your chlorinator down a little bit. If it's too low, you're going to turn it up. After the first year, you'll be able to tell that, geez, when it's 85, I've got my chlorinator set at a 3.5, and this is something you could almost eliminate other than your pH. It'll become that easy after the first year on knowing what to do with your system. Over here we have conditioner and or stabilizer. That is something you only need to do every spring, as well as total alkalinity. What we ask you to do every spring is once your pool's up and has ran for a week and been initially shocked, you will bring a water sample in to your nearest pool store and have the cyanuric acid or stabilizer checked. and have the total alkalinity checked. Tell them what size pool you have, and they'll straighten those two things out for you at the beginning of the year. And that's something you should only have to have checked at the beginning of the year. After that, it's strictly pH and it's chlorine. Low chlorine is going to cause you possibly a green algae problem. Having your pH get too acidic or too low can actually eat into the metal fixtures and everything via the light, the handrails, the faceplate on the light, anything metal in the pool. If you have too low pH, you'll eat into that, and it can cause a lot of problems. So the pH is almost more important than what the chlorine is. Main reason is chlorine is just going to cause you green water. pH is going to eat right through the metal. The last part on our chemical part is shocking your swimming pool. Well, let's go back to adding these chemicals. Never broadcast a granular type product into the pool. We always suggest at the beginning of your 8-hour cycle on your pump and filter, adding these directly to the skimmer. Sift the powder in. What that's going to do is going to go up through the pump, and it's going to get caught in your filter and completely dissolve before it comes back. But the pump should have at least 8 hours to do that before it shuts off. So thereby, if your pump is shutting off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't want to put it in at 12 and only have it run 2 hours. You want to put that in at 8 in the morning when it kicks on, and 2 o'clock in the afternoon should that be when you run your pool. As far as normal operating times of the pool, we suggest noon to 8 o'clock at night. Reason being is that's when most of your swimming is going to happen, and if you've got that pump and filter running, when there's swimming going on, it's going to naturally take out dirt automatically from the pool and save you a lot of work. So as I say, anytime you have these granular chemicals, always do it into your skimmer with the pump running, skimmer valve open so it's sucking from there at the beginning of its 8-hour cycle. That also includes shocking the pool. Shocking the pool, which is going to be these small bags, we suggest buying a lithium-based shock. That's a lithium-based shock versus a calcium-based shock. It's a much cleaner shock, and it's going to give you more crystal clear water than what the calcium-based does. It is more expensive, but it is by far a better product. So when you do buy any shock, make sure it's a lithium-based. But as far as shocking the pool goes, it's going to happen once every 2 weeks. Or after you've had a huge party over a weekend and you've had 50 people through it and it's showing a little cloudiness in there, then it's time to shock. But as a general rule, every 2 weeks, this goes for 1632, 1836, or 20 by 40, basically 2 bags, tear them open, sift them into the skimmer as your pump is running so that they're completely dissolved and sent back out to the pool in liquid form. And as I say, that's once every 2 weeks or after you've had a heavy bather load. And that should conclude anything you've got to do on chemicals. As I say, pH up, pH down, raise the chlorine, lower the chlorine, and have your conditioner or stabilizer or cyanuric acid. There's actually 3 names for that, same product. Have the cyanuric acid and the total alkalinity checked once in the spring, and that should be all you've got to do.